Today on What's Next.
Just a normal guy that saw a problem, and I think that I just stuck with it.
I inspire anybody that's maybe in the 90s to get off the couch and do some exercise.
You might think that your gifts are insignificant, but you're wrong.
Welcome to What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton here with your weekly dose of inspiration to help you keep growing bolder. Because let's face it, we all need a pep talk from time to time. Life can be overwhelming, especially as we age. Ever feel like whatever you do, it just isn't enough? Well, after all, in a world of over 8 billion people, what can one person do? What difference can you make? Well, turns out quite a bit. In today's show, we'll share the inspiring stories of individuals who didn't let all the problems in the world paralyze them. Instead of getting overwhelmed, they got to work right where they were with what they had. Which brings us to a guy by the name of Jared Walker. Jared is the founder of $4, which is a nonprofit that has helped individuals and families wipe out nearly $80 million in medical debt using a little-known, fully legal, and highly effective program. After helping family members cover high medical bills, helping others do the same became a personal mission for Walker. He started a local crowdfunding grassroots organization in Portland that helped people pay medical bills, and after a few years, he learned about hospital charity care, and he took to TikTok to share this option with others.
Most hospitals in America are nonprofits, which means they have to have financial assistance or charity care policies. This is going to sound weird, but what that means is that if you make under a certain amount of money, the hospital legally has to forgive your medical bills. This is a federal law that went into place with the Affordable Care Act. So it requires nonprofit hospitals, which is most in America, to have these charity care policies. It's basically how they keep their tax-exempt status. And hospitals, if you are within a certain income range, the hospitals are legally required to write off or reduce the medical bills. And that is what charity care is. And a lot of people just don't know about it. Hospitals don't do a great job of telling people about it. So there are millions and millions of people declaring bankruptcy or going on payment plans for bills that they do not have to pay. And that is what sparked me to get on TikTok and say, hey, there's something that y'all don't know. And I used TikTok to spread the word about it. And that video went on to get like 30 million views and kind of catapulted us into a national organization that does this nationwide.
How big of a problem is it? How many Americans are now living on the edge of poverty? How many of us are in danger of being totally wiped out by a medical issue?
Medical debt is an enormous problem. I mean, and it impacts so many other areas of your life. We have people that are neglecting care because the fear of the cost, right? Which then makes whatever medical emergency happen even more expensive once it happens. So, and then, the medical bills is kind of the tip of the iceberg. Underneath that, when you get these large hospital bills, sometimes you're not able to make your rent payment. You're not able to put food on the table. And I think the other thing is, you got to remember the only reason that these people have these large hospital bills is because they just had a medical emergency. So they're also trying to recover from that.
Talk about the impact that one person can have to make a difference in the lives of others. Because I'm guessing you were a guy that was cruising along doing whatever. I'm sure you had lots of passions. Your life was totally transformed by your desire to make a difference. What's the moral of the story? What can you tell us about our own individual ability to make a difference?
I was going through school and I was bartending when I started $4. People ask about, what's your background? What were you doing before this? And it's like, nothing. I am a very unlikely founder. And I think that that's a powerful story that people can connect to. I don't have some crazy background, in the nonprofit world or in the healthcare world or anything. Like, I'm just a normal guy that saw a problem. And I think that I just stuck with it and just kind of rolled with the punches as I went. So I think yeah, don't underestimate what you can do. Don't underestimate the goodness in people. You know, people, Dollar Four is fully funded through philanthropy by generous donors, people that believe in our work. Stick with it, and I think that people will find out about what you're doing one way or another, if it's helping people.
Folks, he is proving that one of us, any of us, can make a huge difference. You can learn more about what he does and how he does it at $4. That's FOR.org.
I tell everybody, I said, hey, my dad's 97. That's where I'm headed for.
Welcome back to What's Next. Growing Boulder is proud to be the media partner of the National Senior Games. And one of the many magic moments at the 2023 Games in Pittsburgh was provided by a guy by the name of Jack Eckenrode, who at 95 years old became the oldest person ever to complete the 20K cycling race at the National Senior Games. And Jack didn't just compete alone. He inspired family members and friends to compete as well. His son Brian, a gold medal swimmer in Pittsburgh, was inspired by his dad to compete, as was Jack's neighbor Pat, who won gold in the women's 85 to 89-year-old 20K road race, her first ever competitive bike race. We talked to Pat and Jack and his son Brian about the power of Jack's influence in helping them know that they could do more.
Well, I've been riding a bicycle for quite a few years, and just for exercise, riding 2 or 3, 4, 5 miles. And then when I met him through our grandsons, and they found out that I rode a bicycle, they just started telling me that I could do it. And I said, I can't, and I don't want to. And then his daughter called me one day and said, I'm down at my dad's, bring your bike down, and I'm going to time you so that you can go into the Olympics. And I said, oh, and she said, do it. And I said, okay. So I did, and she timed me, and they got me involved in going to the Olympics. I never even thought about that before.
And now you're a gold medalist in the National Senior Games. So, Jack, you are a carrier. Your inspiration and positivity are literally contagious. Why is it so important for you to spread the Senior Games message? Why are you so motivated to get others involved?
Well, you know what? I work out every day, and I inspire anybody that's maybe in the 90s to get off the couch and do some exercise every day. And that's what I do. And I feel so much better when I do it. I sleep longer than I probably should, but at least when I'm ready to bike, which is coming up this spring, I'll be ready to go and I'll feel good about it. And I just love the bike, and that's what I love to do.
Brian, how did your dad inspire you, and are you glad he did? What did competing in the Senior Games mean to you?
Absolutely. So, it was last year, I was 57 years old, and I've been watching him compete and train. So what happens is I realize that it's not something you just do 2 months before an event like this. He's every day. I mean, he finds a way to get in the garage here or jump in his workout room, or he jumps on the trail and jumps on his bike. So to prepare for something like that, just move, do something every day. And that's what he's taught all of us kids. And he's basically teaching us that his whole life. I can remember when I was, 8, 10, 15 years old, and there he was in his 40s working out, and he didn't miss. He'd find time to work out.
Brian, give us the moral of the story. What's the takeaway from your dad's life, his lessons? As a 95-year-old, what should we learn from Jack?
No, it's huge, because you look at that as, like you have that goal of how long you're going to live, or what you're going to do this week, or what's going to happen next year. That's just one more goal. Like, okay, guess what? You stay active, you stay healthy, eat properly, do something every day. You could say, okay, life expectancy, I'm not looking at 75, 80. I tell everybody, I said, hey, my dad's 97. That's where I'm headed for. So that's talking 40 years from now. That's a long time.
What an inspiration Jack Eckenrode is. He's now 97, still encouraging others to join in at the National Senior Games, and we cannot wait to see him in Des Moines, Iowa for the 2025 National Senior Games, and we hope to see you there as well. To learn more about the National Senior Games movement, just visit nsga.com.
There's no way I could have any job that fills my cup like this.
Welcome back to What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton. Today we're talking about how we can all make a difference as individuals. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm fascinated by origin stories, especially those of nonprofits, because they almost always include a personal story followed by passion and perseverance from somebody who's upset at the system, frustrated by inequities, and determined to help others avoid the same circumstances, which is exactly what happened to Colleen Gonzalez. Like all mothers, she wanted the best for her children, but she found that compared to other schools, her school's activity programs were substandard, so she got to work.
You know, if you're ever feeling sad or lonely or feeling like you don't matter, what you do doesn't matter, put your hand out and help somebody else up, because you have it in you. You have the ability to care for others, and you might think that your gifts are insignificant, but you're wrong.
Like any other mother, Colleen Gonzalez wanted the best for her children. But where other schools had running programs, hers did not. Where some recruited volunteers, raised funds, and created programs, hers did not. What she couldn't understand was, why not?
What I did know is when my kids were in elementary school and I would see what would be happening across town, that what was happening at our school was different than what was happening in other schools. So it just caused me to ask questions, talk to the principal, try to figure out why things were different.
Here's where Colleen was different. After things were explained to her, that wasn't the end. It was just the beginning.
I have learned that there's really a solution to everything. And although things might seem intimidating, that if you go to the table with a plan and ready to really think it out, nothing is impossible.
That's when this stay-at-home mom sprang into action. She started listening to administrators and teachers to understand their limitations. And then by reaching out to local merchants and empowering other parents, Grow Central Florida was born. Grassroots outreach within.
We want to make sure that kids, no matter what school they come from, no matter what location they're at, that they have what they need.
And in a few short years, they have grown to a remarkable 80 volunteers, reaching out to 50 elementary schools, supplying free running shoes, refurbishing playgrounds, hosting events, and offering all kinds of much-needed equipment.
Each of the carts, we have just things that hopefully will inspire the kids to get out and just move, be creative, come up with their own games.
Yes.
But she realized she was also supplying something else.
Whether you are a teacher, a social worker, a coach, these people really go in with a desire to serve our community. So we're giving them the tools, and really, I think it sparks that fire in them, you know, why they went into their job. It's to really care for people.
Grow Central Florida secures the donations, and the volunteers, some of the middle and high school students, come back to help out, help mentor, and even help make a little girl's day.
Miss Harris, we get to keep this stuff going. We get to keep this stuff like this. Yes, I do.
I really enjoy just seeing their reaction, what's happening. So it kind of helps you get through the work, because you know it's going towards such a good cause. If I was a kid and I knew that someone was just gonna bring me a bunch of fun toys, that'd be pretty special to me.
Yeah, I enjoy just seeing the kids and their reactions, just even from track and cross country meets, and then giving out toys. It's always fun to see their smiles.
It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable to get out. We have community amongst ourselves, and working for the kids. I have 14 grandchildren, and God bless them. They don't need a community like this to do shoes, but there are an awful lot of kids who do.
And I believe we're here on Earth on this journey together to help each other. And through my life, I've always gotten, help and support, and I think it is time to give back and to help.
An entire community learning how good it feels to make a difference.
Grow's doing a great job as far as providing us services that right now we just don't have the funds to do much of anything right now. And it's really a big asset to our school, the help they're giving us.
Still, running a volunteer organization isn't easy, and there are plenty of struggles and frustrations.
We put in a lot of grants, and that can be, it's exciting to put them in, but every time they come back with a no, it hurts. Because you're like, why am I doing this? Why? Why am I breaking my back?
And the answer is?
Because it's worth it. It's totally worth it. And to be able to serve, it's something special.
You get emotional even thinking
I
about
do.
it. Where is that? What's that from?
I don't know where it's from. You go out to schools and you see kids whose families would not have the opportunity to have them participate in organized sports, cheerleading, soccer, gymnastics. And when you give them the opportunity to belong to something and engage in something, you just see the child light up.
So the next time you wonder if one person like you can make a difference, think of Colleen Gonzalez and all that's come from the spark that one concerned parent ignited. Not only does she touch the lives of over 14,000 students a year, leading with her heart has also touched hers.
Having the ability to serve, it's something sacred. And then also knowing that you're taking something really special and adding something special back to the community, I wouldn't want it any other way. There's no way I could have any job that fills my cup like this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Colleen saw a problem and inequity and created a solution. Over the years, Growing Bolder has shared so many other similar and inspiring stories, like Carolyn Moore, who started the Modern Widows Club after her husband passed away, leaving her with 2 small children. Like Norm Bungard, who retired from the IRS, helped others do their taxes, and raised awareness and money for guardian ad litem programs by skydiving in his 80s. And how about Angel Cornelius, who couldn't find a good hair product for her newly silver hair, so she created one and then sold it. The point is, it's never too late to make a difference, big or small. We can all create ripples of impact. If you got a pulse, folks, you're not done yet. Unfortunately, many of us tell ourselves we're not capable, and as we learned as children, words do matter. And many of us think we're not capable, and as we're learning as adults, thoughts do matter. Our bold social clip of the week is an excerpt from the Mindset Mentor podcast.
Don't speak negatively to yourself, though, even if it's just a joke. Your body and your subconscious do not know the difference between what's real or what you're actually just thinking. Words are energy, and this entire universe that you and I are sitting in right now is built on energy. And so if you want to change your reality, you have to change the way that you speak to yourself. If you change the way that you speak to yourself, you can change your life.
Welcome back to What's Next. Are we connected? We should be. Because did you know that Growing Bolder offers inspirational video stories, reels, podcasts, and other content? Check us out at growingbolder.com on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, where we want to hear back from you. We want your answer to questions like this one. What is one way you use your experience, your wisdom or passion to make a meaningful impact in the world today? Just log on and let us know. Yes, we all agree that life can be overwhelming. We can't deny that fact, but we can defy that fact. We're better together. We're stronger together. Helping others is one of the best ways to help ourselves. In fact, according to the Mayo Clinic, being kind to others can increase our own self-esteem, our own empathy and compassion, and improve our mood. It can lower our blood pressure and decrease cortisol levels, a hormone that's directly related to stress levels. It was Mother Teresa who said, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can all do small things with great love." What's a small thing that you can do today? A kind word, a helping hand, a simple smile. Think about it and then be about it and see what a difference it can make in your own life. We'll see you next time.